Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. I'm your host Dave and today is another podcast. I have a couple things I wanted to get off my chest first, and then I have some great topics. We're going to talk a little tiny bit about Doctor Who today, with some products I got in, some new Black Series, titanium news with eBay. eBay aggravates the piss out of me lately. And then I want to touch upon Comic-Cons and different collections, because I need your input at the end of this. So for all of you that actually listen, this will interfere with how I do my, well, I shouldn't say interfere. This will lead me into different subjects down the road if I continue podcasting, which I hope to do. You know, I'm kind of getting the win of this. I love all the technology, the mic, the mixer, and so on and so forth, all the different cables. But anywho, let's get to it, shall we? First of all my Daleks from Eaglemoss have come in. I am very happy to report that out of like the 10 plus Daleks I had in, only 3 of them had minor defects. But here's the good thing, if anybody's interested in getting any product from Eaglemoss, listen, if you have a problem, such as paint defects, mold defects, take a photo, get your customer number or order number, your name, contact their customer service, and they will help you out. Soon as I went through all my products, the 3 Daleks that had issues, I took photos, sent it in with an email with all my information, and basically after they see that, no questions asked, they're sending me brand new ones, and I'm very happy with that. You know, Eaglemoss is not very cheap, so it's nice to know that there is some sort of protection on their products like that. Great customer service. But anywho, moving back on to Doctor Who, these Daleks look great. We have many that we will see in the next couple of weeks when I do my collection video from 1963 till about 2012. I don't have Capaldi's Dalek or the one from Jodie Whittaker's era yet. But I'm very happy with this collection. I can't wait to see what everybody says when I do it, because I'm going to put a lot of time into that video. We're going to have photos, videos, scrolling, and this and that. And I will not be talking live in that video at all. It will all be recorded, just like I'm doing right now with the podcast. And it will give it more of a documentary feel, sort of. I did a little bit of this with my Hot Wheels collection for 2019. So if you enjoyed that, it's going to be very similar to that, and I'm very excited about that. Doctor Who has always been important to me, and it's basically a love letter, and I'm hoping many of you enjoy that as well. Besides the Daleks, I did get a couple companion sets. For those who don't know, the Doctor is an alien, and he travels around the universe through time, and he always hangs out with either a female or a mixture of males and females, or a male, and they're his friends, his companions. And some people like more than others. Me, I love Matt Smith's companion, Amy Pond, or Amelia Pond. She is portrayed by Karen Gillan, who, oh my god, growing up, she was my go-to girl, man. She is beautiful, and I loved Matt Smith and her character so much that I had to go to the Philadelphia Comic-Con, which is Wizard World does it. And I went there, and I had to get a photo with Matt Smith and her, and they were really cool people. I have to admit, there was so many people, you could see it in their faces, they were just tired of taking photos with all these kids and adults. It was a massive age range. I mean, there had to be like 500 plus people in line. It was crazy. But let me tell you, I saw Karen Gillan, and she has long red hair, very beautiful, but she had to cut it because of Guardians of the Galaxy, so it was grown back in at the time. So it's about up to her ears, but man, very beautiful woman. I'll see if I could get a copy of the photo I have with them. Maybe I'll scan it and put it in the podcast. But whew, I could just talk about her for days. She also plays Nebula in the Marvel movies, Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers. Just a great actress, and I'm glad that after Doctor Who, she moved on, and now she's like a huge star, and I couldn't be happier for her. Really, she deserves it. She does a great job as an actress. Awesome. But anyway, moving on with that, I had to get the pack with Matt Smith and Amy Pond, and I can't wait for that to come in. They're not super highly detailed, but they're like little miniatures, like 3-4 inches tall. So when you step away, their details, even though they may look a little fuzzy or big, shrink up. That's why miniatures are cool, especially if you have like model trains. You take something, you look at it real close, and yeah, it's like crudely painted, especially little people. But yet when you take a step back and you see the grander picture, the details sort of shrink and everything looks good. And that's what this miniatures collection is. Like if I take a look at one of my NECA pieces or something like that, even though NECA's amazing close up, from a distance, it looks amazing, like you just ripped it out of the film. Like you don't really see the joints and stuff like that, you just see the bigger picture, and that's what I'm talking about. So I got a couple of companion sets. I got some Cybermen coming in, which I'm very excited about as well. And I know most of you are just sitting there going, what the hell is this guy blabbering about? Cybermen are the opposite of Daleks. If Daleks were people on Earth, they were taken from, historically, Nazis. Daleks hate anything that isn't a Dalek. Everything that's not Dalek is inferior, impure, and therefore the Daleks destroy anything that's not them. You could even look that up. They're taken right from Nazis. That's it. Cybermen look like people. They're just armored up. They have different armored plating or pieces on them. Basically, they come from a different planet, a twin planet of Earth. And since the gravitational ring that holds them in their orbit dissipates, their planet goes out and they lose the sun, and because of this, people on their planet start to go nuts. I believe it's Mondas. They just start ripping apart their bodies and replacing their pieces with electronic components, making it so they don't have feelings anymore, no fear, no pain, stuff like that. And it's a real interesting enemy because they just want to spread. They can't really breed anymore, so they would take another organism and convert them into other Cybermen, which is really, really terrifying when you think about it. And they want everybody to be like them. No feelings, it's all for the greater good. And I guess if you had to relate it to a political group, they would probably represent the communist during that time, that emotionless, we are only here to convert everybody and stuff like that. And, you could go through different enemies from Doctor Who to Star Wars and Star Trek and see how they resemble different groups of people in real life. And it's really amazing, especially from a history major, that all these different groups are horrible and scary as science fiction enemies, but they're based on reality. And a lot of people never really think about that much, but it is kind of creepy. But having said all that, I got a lot of Doctor Who stuff coming in, and even though many people don't watch it at the moment, I will be reviewing more Doctor Who once this praxis test is done. Especially with Babylon 5 ships and everything like that. I need to expand. I'm getting not sick of doing Star Wars, because I'll never get sick of that. But I feel like, I keep doing the same stuff. X-Wings, TIE Fighters, Star Destroyers, etc., etc. I want new ships. I want new things to talk about. And to me, it's getting sort of boring in a way, just pointing out the same old parts. Laser cannons, ion cannons, astromech droid, engines, blah 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 blah. I just want something once in a while that's new to talk about. I guess you guys can understand where I'm coming from that. But let me know in the comments below what you think about anything I'm talking about, because I do read all the comments, and many of you have good points, different viewpoints than me, and I love reading that. If you got something to say, put it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Good or bad, I don't care. It's just nice to see that somebody's listening and getting involved somehow. Hope that came out good. It's hard doing a podcast because you gotta sit there, you got no one to talk to but yourself, basically, unless I have a co-host. And it's difficult to come up with an idea, and for me to take that idea in my head and put it out as quick as possible. And then once you're done coming out with your idea, as you're moving on, you start thinking about what you just said before, and does it make any sense? And I guess I always have that problem. I say things, and then when I start thinking about it, I go, did that sound right? Did I sound like an idiot? Well, whatever, and then I just keep talking. So I'm hoping everything I say makes sense. That's just who I am. What are you gonna do? So, moving on off Doctor Who, I think I spent too much time on that. New Black Series figures for the Star Wars 6-inch line. First up, I got the brand new Knight of Ren, which I wish he had a different name, or she, whatever it is. Actually, it has a masculine build. It probably is a dude. But a great figure. First of all, I wish they made the rest of the Knights of Ren. I think some of those characters in The Rise of Skywalker had some great physical designs. One Knight of Ren had like a Japanese samurai mask. Looked sick. But anywho, it's a great figure. Some cool points of articulation. He comes with a weapon, a blaster. His head has that nice neck tilt on there, which I'm very happy with. That they're sticking with that new design that was with Count Dooku. Some great articulation there. And of course, I'm probably showing pictures by now, so you'll see what I'm talking about. Just a really cool design. I wish they made the rest of it. And I like his little sword or miniature Psyche here. Very nice. Now moving on, the other figure I have is Zori Bliss, which has great articulation for a female figure. She's got the arm joints, which, all females have. But great bend at the elbow. I know a lot of people want double hinged elbows, but these aren't that bad. She also comes with 2 pistols. The holsters do function. You can put the pistols in there, and you're probably seeing photos of that right now. But they're pretty cool. I like the designs. They're black and gold, looking dope. One thing I will say that's negative is that the holsters are actually glued to her leg. Very similar to many of the Black Widow figures in Marvel Legends. I don't know, it kind of hinders the articulation just a bit. I'm always afraid the holsters will snap off if I keep moving the leg, but what are you gonna do, right? Also, before I move on, the cool thing about Zori Bliss is that her helmet, the visor section, can actually come off. And underneath, if you could get it off, you could see her helmet has some detail, you could see her nose, and Kerry Russell's eyes, which is kind of interesting because Kerry Russell plays her in the film. Pretty interesting, a nice looking figure. I did pre-order the Bespin Luke Skywalker because it has a better face than the original one. And I pre-ordered the Imperial Probe Droid. Sadly, I don't want to pre-order too much. As I said in my last video, with the way the world's going now, summer job is not guaranteed for me right now, so I gotta cut the cord at some point. And I figured, if I'm gonna not be getting anything, I might as well get 2 items from The Empire Strikes Back, which I love, which is Luke in his Bespin gear, and the Imperial Probe Droid. They're not too expensive for the most part, and they're gonna go great in my collection, so I can't wait to get them. Now moving on to Star Wars Titanium. For the past couple of weeks, I've been mentioning to many of you, including in my podcast, that recently on eBay, I discovered a Star Wars Titanium series Mon Calamari cruiser, the Liberty type, with the wings. And I have to say, I got it very cheap. Sure, I was suspicious, but, the guy has 100% feedback and this and that, and nobody bid on it. And I bid on it and won it. It was extremely cheap, and I was excited. I told everybody, my number 1 viewer, I gotta call him out there, Blaine. I talked to him on Facebook. I had to reach out. I had to tell somebody. I'm like, dude, I just got this Mon Calamari cruiser. I was so excited. Well, guess what? That was March 16th. I won that. And, the guy said he shipped it. Okay. 2 weeks goes by. 3 weeks goes by. And here we are. It's in April. So I reached out. And I said, excuse me, I go, I ordered this item. Do you have a tracking number or anything like that? So he replies back, it's coming Monday, which is the Monday before Easter. So, whatever, I give him the benefit of doubt. Stuff happens. I understand that. I'm a very liberal guy when it comes to mail and this and that. I know things happen, and I respect postal workers, but, sometimes when they're overburdened, like right now or Christmas time, things happen. Packages take longer, whatever. So this item came from California. Okay, Monday comes, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Friday, and I emailed him Good Friday, and I said, I didn't get it. Could I please have the tracking number? Simple request. I I didn't think I was being an a-hole. Simple. Just give me the tracking number. Well, he replies back. I sent it. Something about COVID-19 in the boxes, but I sent it. I don't know what the hell that means. Maybe he wants to kill me. Whatever. So I read that email and I'm like, what is he talking about? So eBay's involved at this point. So they're seeing all this too. Then he sends me another one. Check your porch. Go to the post office and see when they delivered it. Do you have a ring and all this other crap? COVID-19, people stealing packages. This guy's like obsessed with COVID-19. So I wrote to him because at this point I'm starting to get aggravated. Because even though the ship was cheap, it was a decent amount of money. So I wrote to him and I said, listen, man, I don't mean no disrespect here, but COVID-19 is no concern to me since it only lives on cardboard boxes for like approximately 24 hours or something like that. So when a package comes to the house, normally I'll let it sit for a day and a half, open it up, and bada bing, bada boom. As long as I rip up the box and wash my hands, open the item, wash my hands, I'm fine. I got nothing to fear from this. And I told him this, and then I said, please, just give me the tracking number. I go, obviously you know something that me and eBay don't, because you told me it was being delivered Monday. So please, give me the tracking number. Simple request. Well, that was, probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And I still didn't hear anything. And now it's about to be Easter, so, from my perspective, it's kind of fishy. And, having said this, now I'll check my email and there'll be a tracking number. But it's a simple request. If you're going to ship something, and when I do my giveaways, it's a common courtesy. When you ship an item, get the tracking number, and you give it to somebody. That way, that individual and you both know where that package is from point A to point B. And the fact that this person will not give me the tracking number after asking about 4 or 5 times is telling me that I got gypped and that he's messing with me. I almost cursed, but I'm trying to keep cool, trying to keep calm. It just sucks, you know what I mean? And, I ordered many other little tiny ships from different sellers throughout that same time period. For example, Obi-Wan's Blue Jedi Starfighter from the Hot Wheels collection. Also, I ordered the Imperial Attack Cruiser from the Titanium line, and that's being delivered Monday. Like, the guy gave me a tracking number. So it's just a shame, it really is, and hopefully he's right, he did ship it, and it will turn up. I don't want to give bad feedback or anything like that, so we'll see what happens. But if anybody's interested in that, let me know in the comments below, because I could talk about people doing this crap to me all the time. And it's good to just get it off my chest. Like, I feel good talking to somebody about this, because I could call my friend in PA, Doug and Tyler, and tell them this. And they get it, because they order a lot of stuff. But a lot of people who don't collect don't really understand, the feelings you get when somebody does something like this. And I hope I didn't get ripped off. I hope it's just a really good mistake, or maybe the guy's busy. It is a holiday season, even though I don't think we're supposed to go out in giant groups. But whatever, it is what it is. The world's just a crazy place, right? But anywho, that was basically my 3 main topics of today. I don't want to go too long with the video. I know a lot of people are doing many things, and they just don't want to sit around listening to me BS for an hour. So, the last thing I want to mention is, I think for my next topic in a couple videos, I want to talk about Comic-Cons. And in there, I was thinking about maybe scanning or taking photos of different autographs and photos I have with different celebrities. And I just want to know, would you guys be interested in that? I know some of you out there do enjoy conventions and going to these things. And I do have a lot to talk about. Maybe I could get a co-host, somebody who's been there with me, and I'll see how that goes. I'll reach out to Doug and Tyler, see what they're doing. Good news, though, Tyler is doing better. He had the COVID test, but it was one of those crappy ones that takes like 2 weeks. But the thing is, he's doing better. I talked to him today with Doug. He's doing good, so I'm very happy about that. You know, I hear all these horror stories about people that have this COVID illness, and it's not good. A lot of people recover, which, thank God, I'm happy for all of you. But there's a lot of people passing away, and my heart goes out to all the families that are dealing with this, because it does suck. It does. Death is never good, no matter why the reason. It's horrible. Oh, well, I don't want to end the video on a down, but before we conclude, two other topics that I thought about, and again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. First one is perhaps talking about my top favorite pieces in my entire collection of items. This would encompass everything from Armada to Eaglemoss to NECA, and I would pick like maybe my top 20 items, take nice photos, and just show the photos as I talk about why I like them so much, or why they mean so much to me. I think that would be a very interesting idea, and if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below. Like I always say, I read the comments, and all of you are a big part of this channel. Sure, I edit everything, film it, and review it for all of you, but your input actually matters to me. What you guys want to see, what you want to hear, that's normally what I'm going to try and do. So input is greatly appreciated. Finally, the other idea I had was sometimes people ask me, you know, how do I know what I know about different Star Wars ships or Star Trek vessels and so on and so forth. And many people argue with me saying I'm wrong, and, you know, I don't like going out on a limb and, you know, rubbing their face in it that, you know, they're wrong. Normally I'm very polite and I just say, well, you know, this is where I got my information. Can you tell me where you got yours? And then I just never hear about them ever again. But I had this idea of making a audio or video where I talk about my favorite books to use for reference materials for my channel. And this is everything from AVP, Alien books, Star Wars, Marvel, Halo, different DK cross-section books, the Star Wars vessel guides. I have 2 of them, which are awesome. I was so glad to finally find those. I got them off Amazon. And, you know, if you guys want to hear me talk about all that, let me know, because that is something I'm very interested in. I love having books, which, you know, this is going to sound like I'm a child, but I love having books with pictures in it that describe and explain what different items are. I just really like that. For example, if I took my Halo book and opened up a page, it would tell me about the rifle, or a Banshee, or different Covenant vessels. Really cool stuff, because in a video game, you're just running and gunning, and you don't really have time to suck in all that information. And for me, I love when I read a book, or play a video game, or watch a movie or TV show, that I have the ability to really enter that universe, explore the lore, the history, and Halo is one of the big ones. I love the story of Halo. I used to get all the books and read up on all that stuff. I love the history there. Doctor Who is another one. Star Wars, Star Trek. All that stuff is great material. And there's just tons of history to learn about, different tools and weapons and enemies. Oh, I could talk about this all day. But if anybody's interested in any of those ideas, please let me know in the comments below. I keep saying it, but that's because it's true. And also, if you guys have any ideas at home and you want to hear my thoughts, write them down. Let me know what you guys want to hear, and I'll look into it. So, having said all that, I think we'll cut the video short. I didn't want to talk too long. I just wanted to wish everybody a happy holiday. I hope everybody's doing safe, and just touch on little points that happened during the week. And that does it for this podcast today. I hope you enjoyed the audio. If you did, smash that like button. And if you'd like to see new videos every Thursday, subscribe. Again, to all of you, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my content. It really means a lot to me, and I hope I'm entertaining you and hopefully letting you guys forget about some of the problems of the world at the moment. As always, I wish you guys nothing but the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.